to this. I got my miracle Facebook Live. Today I have this beautiful, glowing woman. Her name is Karen from St. Louis, Missouri, and she was so kind to say yes to my request. Would you be so kind to share with us the miracles that you've received this week at Rythmia? Not only this week, this is her second time, right?
Right.
So thank you so much for saying yes. It's really, I'm always so humbled and so grateful for whoever says yes. I want to share my experience, and I know that many things that happen here could be very personal, and so I said to her, you share as much as you want to share, but I just want you to hear her testimony, because she came in twice, and many people come here with you know, my life is falling apart or I need an answer. But Karen's story, it's a bit different. So would you take us into how did you find Rhythmia, and what was your first impression of it, or like the idea of doing something like plant medicine?
So my journey has been a long journey.
Mhm.
So for more than half my life, I've been doing workshops, retreats, reading books, taking anything in for personal development, spiritual development, because something was missing and I knew that I needed help.
Mhm.
And so half my life has been dedicated to this. I mean, I've gone to so many workshops. I spent so much effort and money on improving myself, which actually has helped a lot.
Mhm.
And I've even like thought, okay, I'm really in a great place. My life is wonderful. I'm happy. But there's, of course, areas that, like everyone else, we have to work on. So my intention for coming here wasn't because I have any serious issues to work at, like addiction or any kind of true traumas or things like that. And that's what I'm thinking. And I was shared this information by a friend who sent me the YouTube video of Jerry talking about Mrs. Moon.
Mm.
And as soon as I saw it, I have to go.
Mhm.
This is it.
Mhm.
This is going to help me become more spiritual.
Mhm.
This is going to give me more enlightenment.
Mhm.
This, I want to tap into the higher level of consciousness. Oh my
Right.
God, I want to ascend, right? That's my
Yeah.
that's my thought coming here. So I booked my trip. I come, and by the way, other than seeing that video, I did no research. I didn't know what ayahuasca was.
No way.
No.
Wow.
But in my mind, I'm thinking, well, I don't want to research because I don't want it to cloud my experience. And that's usually how I go with most things. I just
That's a good
find
idea.
it.
Mm-hmm.
If it resonates, then I go for it. So I come here, and immediately I'm just like welcomed, and everyone's so nice, and it's beautiful. And I feel like, oh, this is so nice. And everything is just what I thought it would be. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go into the first ceremony on Monday. And it was really shocking. I wasn't ready. And I was like, and I really held back. But the second night, when I went for it, oh my gosh, I got my ass kicked. I had no idea.
You are thinking you're going to be ascending.
Right. I mean, it was so hard, but I saw all my blind spots. Well, a lot of my blind spots that I had no idea that was an issue for me, like holding me back and blocks.
Yeah.
And here I'm thinking I'm so like enlightened already.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got my ass kicked. And what was beautiful is I got so much support.
Mm-hmm.
I had so much support all night long. I did everything from crying to laughing, but every step of the way I had Parashakti was there. I had, it was Raven, Sophia, and everyone else. And I never felt, I have felt true love before. I have, but I had never felt that kind of love and to be so cared for.
Yeah.
And to feel so safe. So I had this amazing week, and I was so grateful to everyone. And then I thought, I want to come back. I really want to come back, because if I got this much this time, what could happen again? So I booked my trip. Now I'm here, and I came in again. It's like, if I could get even what I got the first trip, that would be huge. And I would be so grateful.
And in between, so that was in April the first time. So between April and now November, how was your integration process?
Actually, for me, it was very easy.
Okay.
I had already had practice, self-care practice. I already have a very, balanced life. So integrating back to my real life or my home wasn't challenging.
Mhm.
However, I will say about 2 months ago, I did have like a funk come over me.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend shared with me what it could have been.
Mhm.
And it was because I started a yoga teacher training in August.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a 12-week program.
Mm-hmm.
And in yoga teacher training, we do go deep. It's not just about the teaching postures.
Mhm.
We learn about yoga philosophy, deepen our practice and how to teach other people, but we go deep inward. So there's different tools and different exercises we do in order to get there, and a lot of sharing. And so I was taking on a lot of energy because there were some very deep traumas that people were, my co-students were going through and sharing, which was wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
But I was taking on that. And so I got into this funk. And all I could do was, I just want to get through week 12 because next week I'm going to rythmia. And
did you figure out what that funk was about this
Yes. Oh, no. I think, it was taking on the energy
week? Mm-hmm. Okay.
of,
Just that.
people, right?
Mhm.
And so that was like but it was a big funk, real big funk. And it was just something that I hadn't experienced in so long.
Yeah.
And it was my friend who kind of helped me process that. And
Okay.
so I felt like very excited to get through my yoga teacher training. And the next week I would be coming right here. So that's what kept me going and like just giving me that sense of like, it'd be great because you're going to go to rythmia again and be in a place where I can really just have everything so supported and taken care of for me, and I can dive deeper.
Yeah.
And I think that funk was really good because life isn't perfect.
Yeah.
And part of me feels like sometimes maybe I mask things
Mm.
and don't truly acknowledge it. I could be sad, or it's okay to feel like crappy sometimes. And I tend to sometimes go through life like, I'm really happy, everything's great.
Uh-huh.
And then maybe stuffing things away.
Yes. I love that because that you're saying this because, and there's an analogy that says that the universe inhales and exhales. So is the expansion and contraction, or also the analogy of a tree and the roots going deep into darkness so that the tree can go up to heaven. So the first time here at Rythmia, at least that was it the woman's night that there was really, that was Tuesday. The night that was really challenging.
Tuesday wasn't. No, that was not women's night. Tuesday was just a regular ceremony, I guess.
Right. So, but that you were presented with your shadows.
Yes.
Yeah. So the aspects of the self that sometimes we don't.
Yes. And at first I actually denied it. I said, that's not possible. That's not who I am. Because you know what? At first I thought, well, I'm a really good person. I'm really kind. I'm so nice to people. I'm really generous. And then it was like, when it was revealed that what my shadows were, I'm like, no, that's not me. And I'm like, yeah. And then things actually came up during ceremony that validated that, and I had to own it. I'm like, yeah, that's what I've become.
Good for you.
It was hard.
Yeah. It takes a lot of courage, right?
Yeah.
To face our shadows.
Mm-hmm.
So now fast forwarding to this week. So how was this week, and what would you say were your miracles? I know that's a big question.
It is huge because my miracles were, number one, truly finding who I was and reconnecting, because I thought I did that the first trip and it was only the beginning. There's been so much completion this week. Just, I feel complete. I've come home. It's really interesting because like Abraham, she sometimes I watch her on YouTube and she's talking about, I am home, I am home. And that was my mantra before, I am home. And when I would, write my journal, mantra. And that was one of my affirmations, I am home. And now I know what it means. That's the difference, Paola. Before going to all these workshops and trainings and retreats and reading and listening to all these enlightened people, conceptually, I knew what it meant. And I tried to incorporate that in my life. And I think that was effective for me to where it got me.
Yes.
which was good because in my 20s, when I started this journey, I was in such a dark place of despair.
Oh.
It was like the darkest part of my life.
Mm.
And doing all the work helped me. So I think that journey led me to coming here. And the miracle is I'm home.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a hard week. There were days when it was evenings where it was very hard. This Tuesday was really hard too. Something about Tuesday.
Hard Tuesday.
Something about Tuesday. And you know what? Then I was rewarded the next night by having more gentleness. And it was like, thank you. It was just like, thank you.
Mm.
But other miracles were I had so much healing, massive healing, especially with my mother, whom I haven't had a relationship for 5 years after my divorce. And I haven't even spoken to my father because he's so angry about the divorce.
Mm.
But I had this huge healing with my mother. And that's, again, I thought my last time that I had healed, asked for forgiveness, forgiven her. And in this one, it was the biggest healing of all.
Wow.
And I didn't know I needed that.
Wow.
And then just so many other things. I mean, I could list on and on and on and on and on. And it's so funny because on Tuesday night when I went back to my room after ceremony, because it was so much, I just spoke into my voice, recording on my phone just to say it all. And I still couldn't get it all out. And then Wednesday and Thursday, I didn't yet because I'm like so much. And I don't know if anyone could relate because it's just so much that I got. And it's powerful. And I feel so free.
Oh, wow.
I feel so free.
Yeah. One of the things that I said to Karen is that, she would show up to class and she just glows this beautiful energy of grace and love and willingness. I can sense your willing, open vessel and student. You're ready to do the work. If it's beautiful, it's beautiful. If it's hard, like, okay, let's do this. What would you say to someone that is getting ready to come to Rythmia? Maybe it's their first time, they're not sure, but and I love that you said I didn't want to see too much into it, so that I could just be open to it. But if we could prepare to the medicine, to that, what would you say to people? What would you suggest?
I would say, first of all, is trust that if you're being called, trust that it is for you.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, follow the instructions that I followed the instructions I was given, how to prepare my body, my mind, before coming. But it's truly is don't question whether it's right or wrong, because there's a reason why this information, why this moment is coming to you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not by chance. It's not coincidental. Don't let anybody make you feel bad because you want to try ayahuasca.
Mm-hmm.
They may not know anything about it and they're judging.
Yes.
And so rely on your own gut and your own heart to take you there, and then just trust that it's the right decision, because it is.
Yes,
it is.
Yes. Yeah. There's, I like to say that she will give you exactly what you need and so much more.
Absolutely.
Maybe not what you want,
Absolutely.
but you get what you need at a deep,
Yes.
deep personal level.
And when you said you don't get what you want, you realize that after the ceremony, you're like, it's exactly what I needed.
Yes.
And had I tried to control it and say, well, this is what I want, this is what you might not have gotten exactly what you needed, and it would not be the same experience.
Yes.
So let go of control.
And how was that for you to surrender, to let go of control?
Well, as I told you, my very first ceremony in April, I tried to control it.
Mm-hmm.
And I stayed in my little bubble and my happy little self. But again, that was control, because, well, I'm not going to go there.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't until Tuesday when I finally surrendered and said, okay, I'm going to do the work. Why am I here? And I remember looking at Raven and I'm like, because it was so hard. I'm like, I want to do the work. And once I said committed to it, then I'm like, oh, and then it made the rest of the journey better, because I knew I got through it.
Yes.
And it wasn't what I thought. And I said, what am I so afraid of? Why was I so afraid?
Yeah, isn't that so interesting? We're
Yeah.
afraid of ourselves, of aspects of the self that we have
Yes.
denied and disowned. But
Yes.
they're just looking for us to love them.
Yes. I think you're right. So many people, they're like, I'm afraid I'll see something horrible. I'll be a monster or whatever. It's like, no, you'll see. It's gentle. It's beautiful. You'll be revealed exactly how you do, like a mother, just gently guiding you and taking you. And of course, just like a mother, there's some tough love, like
Yes.
tough love.
Yes, she can be a stern teacher.
Mm-hmm.
You can do this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yes,
for
yes.
sure.
Oh, that's so good.
But I will say what helped so much, and I can't even emphasize it enough, is that being here, every single thing has been attended to. From the moment you arrive, being greeted and so graciously, taken care of, and, the meals and the whole environment so beautiful. Every detail's been taken care of. And then all the support, whether it's the classes, yoga, doing, spa stuff, and everything has been so carefully taken care of. I don't have to do anything. All my time is occupied with growth and support. And then, like you, all the wisdom, the brilliance, this information in the classes, if that's all I came here for, would be a massive change in my life. Right?
So good, yeah.
The way that the information is generously shared with us to support us,
Yes.
to give us support, not only here, but when I go home. And I've loved your classes, and you've inspired me.
Thank you.
You saw me. I couldn't stop smiling.
I loved having your presence in class.
Thank
you.
you.
Yes, everything at Rythmia is placed for a reason.
Yes.
The classes are very grounding for whatever it's happening in the medicine. Even the colonics, that is part of the letting go of whatever we've been holding on. Everything, the yoga, the breath work.
Talking about the colonics, the first one I resisted. I'm like, this is not what I want to do. Right. I was so like, and I went in for the first one, and I'm like, okay, that wasn't so bad. Yeah. Second one I went in April, I'm like, oh, this is actually nice. And then now I'm like, I really like this. Right. So it's a total shift in perspective.
Yes.
It's like where your mindset is, and just having the ayahuasca, having the support, and being able to have these shifts, it's beautiful.
It's pretty magical. Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing so abundantly with us today. I hope you enjoyed this. Is there anything else you'd like to add for someone who's thinking to?
I just want to thank Rythmia and Jerry and every single person here for giving me the, I think, truest gift, which is just liberation and joy. And like I said, I just feel I now know what it means to say I am home.
Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, okay. Well, you heard it. I am come to Rythmia. I'm so grateful for all of you that have watched this video today. Like it, share it, comment it, share it with a friend that might be thinking of doing this kind of work. And we will see you next week on another I Got My Miracle. Goodbye now.